What is up, everybody? It is Wreaker, and welcome back to the Vanilla Minecraft Survival World. And yeah, it's been a while, but we should be back at least semi-regularly now. Uh, I'll go ahead and talk about that. Fun fact, we are in 120. All the camera mods and stuff like that I use updated. So yeah, while I explain everything, I'm gonna throw some footage of just chopping down quite a bit of cherry grove, which I thought I had my mic on, but I apparently have this problem recently with forgetting to turn my mic on. Did a stream, like my first stream, I forgot to unmute my mic, and then I had streamed the night before I recorded this, and I forgot to toggle the mic back on in OBS. So good job me, but yeah, few changes. I've started streaming. I don't really have a set schedule for it. It's mainly been when I've had enough energy to actually do stuff. I work a manual job, so it takes a lot of my energy from me. And there's sometimes that, especially Tuesdays, that I don't get off at a good time. Mainly because my shift is a afternoon to whenever you're done shift. So sometimes I get off at 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes I get off at 9:30. And like last Tuesday, I got off close to 2 a.m. So, yeah. But it hasn't just been this channel and streaming that's been affecting everything. I've been working behind the scenes a little bit on another channel besides the main channel and the VOD channel. VOD channel is essentially just dumping stuff straight onto the live streams and not really doing much else with it. It's just the raw, unedited form of what's going to get cut up into episodes for the main channel. I've been talking about it for a couple weeks in the Let's Plays, but I'm getting closer. I've just still working on the branding and stuff for it. But I'm launching a sports channel, and it's not going to be like, oh, highlights, daily talk show of games and stuff. No, it's going to be kind of either interesting things about sports or more a VTuber's guide to sports. Because I have a lot of friends that are sports nerds. I have a lot of friends that are video game nerds, and there's not a lot of cross between. So like I said, it's not going to be a ton of highlights or like headlines and stuff like that. It's going to be more of what is this sport? Why do people care about it? And what's some basic information to where you can at least look like you know what you're talking about. Because if you look at a lot of sports channels on YouTube, even the very simple ones, they just assume if you're watching it, first they assume that you know what war is as a statistic, and then they kind of assume that you can differentiate, say, oh, this guy has a 1 war, this guy has a 4 war, and that you can tell the difference between what it is. I understand there's some people that's just going to fly straight over their head and they're not going to have any interest. As a little spoiler, I'm working on a 2-part video for NFL football, just talking about quarterbacks in the playoffs and do they actually have any effect on their team or not. There's some surprising results. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's going to be edited down. I'm going to try to keep it moving pretty fast, and I'm going to try to keep it pretty engaging. Then the other series is going to be the VTuber's Guide to Sports, which is going to be for someone who's not that interested in sports, might be a little bit more interested in video games, but has friends who are interested in sports and have no idea what they're talking about. But yeah, that's all kind of besides the point. I had taken a break from playing Minecraft just because I'd kind of gotten burned out and uninspired, which unfortunately does happen. Minecraft is a very creatively driven game, and if you're struggling, sometimes it's better to just pull completely away from it for a bit and just wait. Plus, I was kind of waiting for 120 because I knew it was about a week out, and I knew it was probably going to be another week for all the mods to update. Like I use Matica, Replay mod, camera utilities, stuff like that. So I figured I was going to let that all update, make sure it wasn't going to crash anything, and I would focus on some other things such as starting up new channels and whatnot. But now that 120's kind of been out, and I'm not pressuring myself to essentially push for a game like episode release to line up with the update and get on top of YouTube algorithm, which, to be honest, that's not why I make videos. I make videos just to get my own thoughts out there, because I don't talk well with people in public. I do struggle with kind of anxiety. I've never gotten it tested, so I'm not going to claim, oh, I have anxiety. But every medical definition I've seen tells me I probably have anxiety. It's just never been diagnosed by a doctor. So I really struggle when it comes to talking to people, starting conversations and all that. But that's also why I'm starting to do VTubing, because I know that VTubing is streaming and all that, but because it's essentially a mask and not a face cam, my brain rationalizes it, and it kind of just allows me to get comfortable and talk to people. So hiding behind a mask isn't horrible. Like, if you're hiding behind a mask to commit crimes, then yes, don't take that line out of context. But for some of us who struggle with attention and just being social, sometimes that mask is a little needed, and it's kind of often that people just don't understand it. But I've kind of gone off on a little rant there. Heading back over here, here's the product we're actually going to be working on. And I'm actually going to go live on Twitch. I'll do a little self-plug. And yeah, I'm going to try to get pillagers, like this guy here. This was my first attempt. I'm going to take out 2 of these, because I went with the old, you can hear there's magma blocks there. And I thought, oh, they'll avoid pathfinding. No, they don't, but they will kind of avoid jumping up here for some reason. They just tend to spin. But as a safeguard, I did some experimentation, and I actually released a video on it. It'll probably be a couple days ago by the time this goes up. Just experimenting on how to keep mobs in place. And so yeah, I've got some honey blocks and carpet. But what I'm going to do is get some pillagers shoved over here, and then I'll shove them into the stall. That's the word. Shove them into the stall that they actually need to go into, and then get them all honey blocked up, stuff like that, so I can actually have merchants. And since these guys are passive, they do still freak out villagers, but they're not going to try to attack anything or anyone. So we'll get them renamed, get them in here, and then I'll probably come back through with some armor stands. That may not be in this stream. I may not have time for it. But I'll come back with some armor stands and item frames and detail out what each of these booths sell. And there's been progress made. As you can see, we actually have pillagers. And that guy just has a banner, and he's going to kind of stay that way. You'll see why here. There's a little bit of clip from the live stream I did. Yeah. There we go. Oh! I forgot I have villagers close by. Well, that's fun. So yeah, luckily if you wait long enough, the raid bar actually does despawn, I found out. But yeah, so this guy is just kind of permanently with a banner, unless I want to try to essentially start another raid. Have to get that guy and make sure he doesn't pick up the banner. But I'm not too concerned about it right now. Did the first pass of just stuff. This guy's got fish, and I need to stock up on more fish, but that's what I got for now. This guy is lanterns and stuff. Oh, I forgot I had new name tags for all these guys, but I left them. Left them in storage. But just got the big one. I figured armor would probably work because I can do a bunch of different sets. That's all the chainmail armor I had, so I had to use diamond instead. A little bit of a flex, I know, but it's like weird flex, but okay. Just using invisible armor stands. I didn't have anything set up for this one yet, but I'm also not completely done. And yeah, this is a little bit of an excuse to get some stuff out of my storage system because it's constantly overflowing. But yeah, between the live stream and just an off-camera assembling of stuff, it's not been too bad for detailing. I do want to probably turn this over to moss just because the savanna grass color is not the best. Oh, one other detail I got here. This was surprisingly annoying to do. I've got the armor stand statues, so these are all you can hear. That's all armor stands. That's positioned and locked and all that. But yeah, so it's kind of like I kind of want them rotated, but this is what I'm settling for. But it's essentially drying out the fish because this is supposed to be the fisherman's hut. Ignore the fact that they're all kind of trapped down here. Hi, buddy. So that might be where I get all the fish to replenish that shop. And as a little bit of a final detail, I went back and got the name tags that I had made for these guys. But yeah, these are all the friendly merchants. And boom. Don't worry, buddy, I'll bring you some wool here in a minute. It's just going to take forever to bring it all over. But yeah, I think that'll do it. Try and get back in the swing of things. I know it's a shorter episode. But yeah, until the next one, this has been Wreaker. And let chaos reign.